Anna Maria Willis. I work at Intermountain Pet Hospital in Middleton, and I'm here to talk today about puppy and kitten proof your house and yard. As you might all know, the veterinarians at IPH, we are putting together a series of educational videos, and this time around it's my time. Today we are going to talk about how to puppy proof or kitten proof our houses. I know that getting new pets in our household is a very exciting time, and we all do our research prior to getting those pets, but right now we want to make sure that also our houses, the space that our pets are gonna spend the majority of the time, is gonna be a safe environment. Whenever we are talking about puppy proofing or kitten proofing our household, we have to consider both the aspects of the house, and we are talking about the indoors, and also we can talk about the outdoors. Let's start with the indoors. Whenever we are talking about the indoors, we have a numerous things that can be hazardous for our pets. One of the most important is making sure that the cords are put away, are unplugged whenever we don't use certain devices. We want to make sure that they are wrapped in protective layers, because puppies and kittens, they might want to chew on them, so that can give them burns in their mouth. Obviously, the consequences of that is not pleasant at all, not being able to eat. And another thing that we have to touch on is making sure that all the medications are being put away. A lot of times we might tend to leave medications on our nightstands or on the table. Puppies are curious, kittens can jump on the tables, and eating some of our medications can be dangerous for them. If you live in a flat, make sure that the windows are always closed, especially that cans can go on the top of the windows, and we want to make sure that they are not falling from a height. Also, if you live in a house, it's also beneficial, because we want to make sure that no animal is escaping the house while we are being gone. Let's talk about feeding. Let's make sure that we are keeping strict to feeding pet food. We don't want to get our pets used to begging from the table. We all know that there are certain foods that are dangerous for animals, like raisins, chocolate, anything that has xylitol in, but also fresh dough. I had a case where the owners cooked some onion, caramelized some onion on the stove, and left it there in order to cool down. The cat ate it, and after that it got a super bad anemia. It needed a couple of transfusions, so it ended up being a dangerous experience, and also a pretty expensive one. Also, we want to make sure that we are not feeding our animals bones. Neither butcher bones or chicken bones. They can be sharp, they can cause constipation. Also, milk products, milk in general can cause diarrhea. So I know that it's a old saying that cats can have milk, or the cartoons are showing the bowl of milk for the kittens, but actually it's not good at all. When we are talking about the bathroom, let's make sure that we are putting away all the cleaning supplies. Especially for cats, we have to make sure that the products that we are using are animal friendly. Cats, they tend to lick their paws, so if a product is not, if it's toxic, obviously the cat will get intoxicated. Another thing for the bathroom that we have to consider is making sure that the trash can in the bathroom has a lid. I had seen numerous cases where the dogs are curious. They tend to go and get hygiene products from the trash, or they get razor blades, and they ingest that, and they end up going into surgery. So covering that, it's better safe than being sorry. Obviously, if we have large breed dogs, we want to make sure that the lids to our toilets are always closed, to make sure that they are not drinking the water from the toilet bowl. Whenever it comes to the children's room, we want to make sure that they are putting their stuffies away, their toys, all the hazardous toys that can affect a dog that is curious, like Lego pieces or rubber ducks, things like that. Even the stuffies. Make sure that you're always buying products for your kids that they don't have the plastic eyes or the squeakies, because dogs are going to be curious and they are going to take those out, and sometimes there is a danger for ingesting that. Cats are also curious. They are attracted to needles, yarn, thread. Obviously for Christmas or for birthday parties, we want to make sure that we remove all the objects that are from a birthday party that are glittery and they sparkly, that can attract a cat from ingesting that, because that can cause a linear obstruction, and obviously we don't want that. Again, in the kitchen, we want to make sure that the trash cans in the kitchen are also covered. They can produce, the garbage in the trash can produce smell, right? And then the animals will be attracted to that smell. We want to make sure that they are not eating from the garbage, because besides the GI upset, some of the products can contain toxins, and they can be poisonous as well. Also make sure that the stove is turned off at all time when it's not supervised. We don't want cats to walk up on the stove or dogs to jump in the fire and get burns. Also, plants are another hazardous thing. Some of them, they are not pet friendly, and they can be toxic. Whenever we are talking about the outdoor of the household, we want to make sure that our yard is fenced. That's because we don't want our animals to escape the perimeter where we can supervise. Also make sure that the lawn is always cut and it's clean, because ticks can hide in the grass, and obviously we know that the seasons for the ticks are usually springs and the fall. With more rain this year, we have seen an increased number of cases in ticks. Also, if you have any kind of pool, make sure that that area is fenced to make sure that the animals are not falling into the pool. For puppies, if you are potty training for them to go outside, I would dedicate a certain area for them to use the bathroom. That's for the safety of the other animals and for the owners, to make sure that if they have any kind of intestinal parasites, they are not spread throughout the yard, and we can clean right away in order to keep the yard clean. Obviously, make sure that you're removing any kind of sticks and rocks that your puppy might be tempted to chew on. Cats are not as adventurous with that, but if you have any kind of dead leaves in the yard, make sure that you're constantly cleaning those, just to decrease the risk of them ingesting. And if you have any kind of plants that might be toxic for the animals in the yard, would be preferred to be removed. In order to keep the area as safe as possible. That's about it. I hope this gives you a few ideas of how to puppy and kitten proof your houses. If you have any kind of question, don't hesitate to ask your veterinarian. We are happy to help answering questions anytime at Intermountain Pet Hospital.